Hello, spooky crew. Our tote bag drawing is officially closed, and we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who entered. We are so grateful for the love and the support, and we have loved reading your reviews. Missed the tote? No worries. We're still sending out high-quality vinyl stickers while supplies last. Just email us proof of your rating and review along with your mailing address to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, and we'll get one headed your way. Quick promise, your address is only for mailing the sticker. No emails, no selling info, no funny business, just spooky gratitude. Thanks again for supporting the show. You are the reason we do this. You're listening to The Spooky Darlings, a podcast where three sisters get together and talk about anything frightening, fun, cool, cryptid. And today is a follow-up Friday episode where we chat every other Friday about anything we might have missed from a podcast episode, current events in the news, or just kind of what's going on in our lives. This is sort of the episode to tune into if you enjoy our banter, because most of the episode is
the banter. And TV shows.
Yeah, feel free to skip if that's not your favorite.
And I am Nettie.
I'm Haley.
I'm Emily.
All right, we have a few things to do. Haley, do you want to start with your stuff?
I took Zane and a friend of his to Orlando, and we visited Universal Studios and Disney World, and it was kind of a whirlwind trip. I'm still so tired because we just got back yesterday, but it was so much fun. And I have to say, hands down, Universal Studios rocks.
It was fun. Good.
In comparison to Disney World, sorry, Disney World, not even holding a candle to Universal Studios.
Did you go to both?
Uh-huh.
Oh, with Zane?
Uh-huh.
Oh, fun. And you liked Universal Studios better?
Much better. The rides are better. The atmosphere was better. We went to Hollywood Studios at Disney World because you know how Disney World has like 4 different parks.
All the different parks, yeah.
So in comparison to Hollywood Studios, Universal is so much better by such a long shot. Like I was talking about it with the kids and they're like, yeah. And I was like, I wish I would have just booked a second day at Universal. And they're like, yeah, us too.
But had you not, they might have been like, we should have gone to Disney World too.
And just to be clear, like the boys were nothing but like so sweet and grateful and just we're like, thank you so much. This is just so great. And they're just really such sweethearts.
Oh, so
it's
fun.
just such a fun memory. And he's just at the perfect age to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah.
That's so fun. I've never been to Universal Studios in the United States.
Oh, not even in Cali?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It was so
sister
fun.
trip, but not to Universal Studios.
Somewhere else where we avoid theme parks. I'm in.
The Keys.
I do want to take Oliver, though. And probably, all my kids would have fun, I think. But
I would go if you guys go. I'll be honest. My kids have had a great time when we've gone. We've gone a couple times. And I actually really love it. I really recommend Waterworld, but I've not been to the Florida one.
After this trip and mine and Zane's report on it, Jason's like, well, now we have to go.
You should do California. And oh my gosh, you know what you should do? You should do the California one. You should fly to California, go to Universal Studios, and then take the Starliner train back. Because you would leave at dawn and then you drive the entire Pacific Coast Highway. And you just get to watch the sunrise over the ocean. No, that's wrong because the sunrise is the opposite direction.
I'm going to say you
ocean
are allowed to do that
the whole way.
Jason's not a train person. He would not do that.
Okay, I guess we'll just have to leave it to me.
I think that's a bucket list item, though. I would do a train, a Starliner, whatever.
I would do a train with my sisters, but with my husband who, could not handle a train.
I think the lack of activities might really bother Jordan unless, he could get down for a lot of card games maybe the whole time.
So I brought 2 decks of cards when I went on my trip with Lola, but I just grabbed 2 unopened packs and they were the Amok brand that are the waterproof kind that you take camping.
Oh, fun.
And she couldn't handle the touch of them, the feel of them or the sound of them.
Oh.
And so like just the other day, we were playing a card game and I was like, see, it would have been so much fun to play this on the train. And she's like, I would have played cards all day on the train if you hadn't brought those. Mom, I can't even think about them. And then she like shuddered.
She's so hilarious and dramatic. I love her.
I love her. Me
so
too.
fun.
Yes. She's
Well, I didn't
clear.
think you were going to say she should ride a train back home. I thought you were going to say that she should fly to the Florida parks and do a side-by-side comparison of all of them. And I was about to say, yes, you should do that.
as well. And then take a train from
with
Florida.
my sisters, not with my...
I'm just kidding.
We went to the Universal Studios in Singapore once, and it was so much fun, but it rained like torrential downpours. And I just remember we all had sneakers, and they were all just soaked to the brim. Everybody was trying to find like statues to hide under to like get shelter from the rain. It was just such an interesting, I mean, it didn't rain the whole time, but it just had this like hour of just the skies opened up. And yeah, made lots of memories in the rain that day.
Was it warm rain, though? Kind of like a Florida rain?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Singapore rain is a lot like a Florida rain. Yeah, very warm, very humid.
Yeah.
You're just soaked. And then, but yeah, no, we had a lot of fun, though. It was a good time.
That actually sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I was just remembering, okay, so the last time I went to Universal Studios, my friend Margaret's dad had died the year before, and they had taken his ashes, and his favorite place was Universal Studios. And so they had like discreetly put some of his ashes like over by the Harry Potter castle. So when I went, she was like,
cute.
You've got to go say hi to my dad. Okay, promise me you'll go say hi to my dad. And so I took like a little video and sent it to her of me. Like she showed me, like she took a photo and like circled exactly like the plot of garden where they put him. And I'm over there filming myself. Margaret says hi. Oh, this is so weird. I'm her friend.
Do we need to bleep out her name? What if Universal
she
gets
won't.
mad?
Margaret Thatcher? They can try all they want. Margaret Atwood? I don't even know if she's alive.
We think not. Or do we? I don't know.
Well, that's my life. What about your lives, sisters? What's happening?
Just trucking away at music direction for Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's going to be really good. And getting ready to go to Mexico soon for my anniversary with my husband.
Yay.
Who I
Your
love.
travel sounds so fun. I've been getting over the worst awful cold and just lack of energy for about a week and a half. I've been pretty much just like in bed, except when I have to do things. And it's been really exciting today to have energy again for the first time. Like, when you feel like elated and you're not sure why, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have that horrible exhausted feeling that I've been feeling every day. That's how I felt today. So I just want to high five everyone for not feeling crappy.
Oh, yay. Oh,
Speak of the devil.
Is this a guest?
Yes, we have a guest. No, I have a guest caller.
no, I'm going to just text my husband. I'm so sorry. I'll put this on Do Not Disturb.
You could answer it real quick if you need to.
I already sent
Is
him
anyone hearing that high hum?
I think somebody's playing an instrument out there.
Oh, it's Lorelai playing a conch.
Oh,
I know it sounds odd, but she's just really good at it.
yeah, she is really good at it. I think Jordan's pretty good at playing the conch.
Really?
I regret the time that I have spent since finding out that it's not pronounced conch because I like it better. I like it better to pronounce conch.
Yeah, we could just still call it a conch shell.
Yeah. Conch to me sounds like a bonk. Like you bonked your head, you conked your head.
Yeah. I do. I totally get it. The very first time that Lola picked up the conch, she played Ode to Joy. She just picked it up and went, I mean, that's about how it sounded. It was like a slightly off tune, but I was like,
Wow.
what? That's amazing.
Good for her.
She had been playing French horn, so she was sort of like trained, with the embouchure. But she had a group of girlfriends over the other night, and when I came in, they were all playing cards and just hanging out, and the conch was in the middle of the table. So I was like,
Cute.
did they all just like take turns playing the conch?
They may have. How fun.
Well, I've got some news.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, the first news I was so excited to share with you guys. And then I went to get an update because I thought that this happened April 1st. And I was like, well, now it's April 14th. Today, the day we're recording is April 14th, but we won't publish this episode until April what's Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days from now, April 17th is when we'll publish it. So I was like, well, I should see if there's any updates. And then I realized it's like actually a year old. So I'm a little sad.
No.
But it was kind of a cool story. So I'm going to share it anyway.
Okay.
I mean, it's a kind of a cool and tragic story. But this guy who is from Decatur, Georgia. I feel like we've talked about this before. We've had this conversation before. This guy from Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur.
He was a bagpiper. And he was a widow. He had like his wife had died like a few months before, maybe like in 2018. So his wife has been dead for a few years. Like, what year is it? 8 years. His wife has been dead for 8 years. So he's been a widow, living alone. But he's a scuba diver. He went to Maui and he died in a scuba accident. So his relatives went to his home in Decatur to go through his stuff and like finalize things. And
oh my gosh, I thought about doing an episode on this.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
I do. This is so.
Should I save it so you can do an episode on it? Because I just saw TikTok.
No, I mean, I don't. I literally, I just saw a little bit about it and I was like, oh my gosh, this could be so fascinating. But I don't know if there's enough information about it.
Let me tell you what I know, and then you fill in from anything you learned, because everything I learned was from a TikTok. So his family finds a skeleton in the treehouse in their backyard.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
It turns out their son, 4 years prior, had left one day, just gotten up and left, and they just all thought that he just left. He was an adult and just kind of like was out adventuring. It was the body of their son. Yes. And no foul play was
in the treehouse. He was in the family's treehouse in the backyard. But do you think that maybe you
But they
learned
didn't
about
smell?
this from the TikTok that I sent you like a month ago?
Possibly. It was in I saved it to my FUFs. So yes, Emily, I bet you sent it. And I was like, we got to talk about this on the FUF. We got to talk about it on the FUF. Thank you. So that story is from Emily Pomeroy, but told by Jeanette.
Wait, but the family didn't smell a dead body smell?
I think, like if he's traveling, if the dad is like a traveler and a widow and he lives by himself, the wife isn't there and it's up in a tree and the wind. I mean, you would think you'd smell it, but.
And I don't think he was at home a lot, and I don't think he spent a lot of time in the backyard.
Right.
So, also, I smell death at I live at the edge of town. I'm not like in the forest by any means, but my backyard is a forest. I smell dead animals a couple times a year where I'm like a deer or a raccoon, something died, and then it will just kind of smell like rot.
You don't think that it's a human dead body?
No. But now I wonder. Now I'm going to go traipse around.
You guys will be glad to know that, speaking of dead animal smells, that the smell in my wall in my bathroom is now gone. It finally ran its course. That was a horrible few weeks where we had something rotting in our walls.
Whatever body was hidden in your closet or hidden in the walls by your construction workers has finally
most likely not human.
Most likely. 90% sure not human.
90%.
But not AI. It's...
Yeah. Well, should we talk for a moment about this beef that is happening on TikTok about our national parks?
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I heard that the Yellowstone account got banned.
So the Yellowstone account got banned for being too sexy.
Yeah.
And all of the other national parks are pretty mad about it, which is turning into national parks rage TikTok, where like some of these other national park accounts, because none of them are like actually official national park accounts. Like the Yellowstone National Park account was just like some guy.
It was
the
like
one that was
a dude from Colorado that was not at all employed or employed by National Parks, Yellowstone National Park, or affiliated with National.
And they were calling it only parks, which I thought was hilarious.
A clarifying question.
Yes.
So like a couple of years ago, there was like a national park feud where it was like Glacier Park raises your blah, blah, blah. And it was all kind of playful. And I assumed that those were the official national parks. And it wasn't until Yellowstone started making comments about like badonkadonks and stuff that people were like, wait a minute. Who's behind this? So
saying something like the government might pull out, but national parks do not.
Well, okay, so that's my question. Is it from a few years ago when the national parks were having their thing? Were those fake accounts?
They're like comedy accounts.
But not run by the national parks. I assumed that they were actually run by the national parks.
No.
Those original ones until they got...
I don't think so. I don't think they were run by our national parks.
No, I think that the national parks were late to the TikTok game, and the names for their accounts were already taken by by what I can only describe as
a delightful human
public servants. Like they are
thinking of us
communities.
Yes.
I think one of them commented on a Jen Hamilton video, or something.
Yeah.
That's what I saw, which I thought was pretty hilarious. And she does have some booty. Yeah, it was a good one.
Absolutely.
Good job, Jen.
So yeah, I do love that whole saga, but I am bummed that somebody must have complained, like somebody that was taking it too seriously must have complained, and
that's exactly what happened.
It's just such a bummer. Let us don't look at it if you don't like it. Like everybody else is just having fun with it.
It reminds me of my oldest daughter's second grade teacher, and she came home from the first couple days of school just laughing and so delighted because she's like, Mom, guess what my teacher does if we're too noisy? This was like the first few weeks of school when it was hot. It was in the old school before they remodeled it. There was no AC. These kids were hot. They were sweaty. They're second graders. And I was like, what did your teacher do? She goes, she sprays us with water. And it was like a mister.
Yeah.
It was like a parent complained. Mimi was so sad.
Oh.
She was like, she's not allowed to spray us anymore.
What a bummer.
One of the moms
Charlie's
complained.
class in second grade had a mister water bottle, like a spray misting water bottle that they were allowed to go spray themselves because it's so hot here. They were allowed to go spray themselves. And sorry, I keep saying the wrong kid's name. Charlie used it and then twisted the nozzle so that the next kid that sprayed it at themselves squirted themselves straight in the face with a straight stream.
Oh, Charlie, you're so smart.
He's so funny. And the teacher called him a jerk. And I did complain about that.
Whoa, yes. No, that's called pranks.
Yes.
Was anybody injured? No.
Well, you don't call a little kid a jerk.
No.
But this was, I don't know. I just felt like this teacher had something kind of playful and fun, totally harmless. Mm-hmm. Like kind of almost that fake, you know how you can kind of like be like, hey, oh, I yada with kids sometimes. And they know you're joking around. And it's almost like that fake kind of meanness, like, look out, or you're in big trouble. And you missed him with water. It's like,
Mimi came home happy.
Mimi thought it was hilarious. She was just giggling about it. It made her so happy. And then she was so sad when she told me that they wouldn't get missed anymore.
And Mimi is one of the purest humans I've ever met.
She's so
She's
sweet.
such a cutie. Okay, well, I have two bits of news that I feel like are important to address because this is our first FUF since Easter. Hey,
yes.
Did you see Donald Trump's picture depicting himself as obviously Jesus?
Oh my gosh.
Obviously Jesus. And then when people were upset about it, he claimed that he thought it was a Red Cross doctor healing people. So that was the first funny Jesus news. And the second funny Jesus news is, okay, there was a Christian church in South Korea where they had this whole like amazing production showing like the whole scene of Easter, like ending in the ascension of Jesus after he's resurrected. And you can look this up on Instagram or TikTok, but there's this video of the Korean Jesus coming out and he gets lifted up. He's like on cables, you know, like,
oh, I have seen this.
Yes, with a crane. And he just keeps getting lifted higher and higher and higher until he goes like way out, like over the city. The crane like somehow either malfunctioned or got the wrong signal. And it was like, the headlines were so funny. Like, Jesus is risen and risen and risen. It was just so funny. You got to look it up.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a storyline from The Righteous Gemstones.
It does. I mean, it sounds like,
because there is an episode where they have their jetpacks and the guy from Eastbound and Down, his character just keeps going up and up and up. And
oh my gosh, I remember that. That was so funny. Danny McBride.
Danny McBride.
That reminds me of, okay, so another funny podcast that I've listened to was one of those. It was an episode of This American Life called, oh gosh, what was it? It was like, sorry, I'm going to look it up.
Was it the belt buckle?
No, that wasn't This American Life. That was a mystery show.
Ooh.
But it was the one where they were talking about the production of Peter Pan.
Oh.
With the like flying apparatuses, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. And it was just like, it was such a great episode.
Oh, send it my way if you haven't already.
It was called Fiasco. The episode was called Fiasco. And it just has 3 funny short stories, starting with that one about the Peter Pan. Like, everybody put a little too much confidence in this director that had very little experience and put all of these like mechanics in play that were not well enough tested. And, it just turned into this thing where this guy 20 years later is talking about the time he was in the audience watching this play unfold. And it's just a delight. You gotta listen to it.
Oh gosh, I'd love to, especially like doing live theater myself and like thinking about all the times little things have happened and just how funny it is later to think about it.
Yeah, there's so many times where somebody's like so confident with very little experience and it turns out amazing. But this is one of those where it turns out they just were like very much like
not
misguided.
qualified.
And yes, it was just so funny though. You gotta listen.
Okay, I can't wait. I will.
Love it.
Well, I have another news thing. This actually happened in February, so sorry for that I keep giving old news, but this is how my TikTok feed, it's like the TikTok feed feeds me what it wants you listeners to hear. And okay, there were 2 American tourists. I think I shared this to the sister chat, but there were 2 American tourists. They were sisters, probably women in their like, 60s or 70s. And they went to tour a castle in Scotland. And they were just kind of like walking around and they were like really kind of happy that there weren't very many people there, but they didn't pay attention to the closing hours. And when they came out and tried to leave, they were locked in. The security guards were gone. All the employees were gone. And this castle, I can't remember the name of it, but it was known as like the unbreachable castle. So they literally could not get out. They somehow found a ladder within the walls, like, because there's like the castle walls. I guess they slept for a while, like in the stables, like found some blankets and like rested for a while. And then they found a ladder and they were able to climb up to this little like porthole window. And she was like, I was just really tempted to hurl myself down, but it was going to be like a 2-story drop. And so she was like debating whether or not it was the right choice. And then finally they see like this little kid like in the edge of the woods.
Oh my gosh.
They see this little kid like darting out and looking at them and then darting back into the woods. And they're like, hey, you little boy, go get help. And so like an hour later, police come and they had to get like a fireman's ladder and put it up because they couldn't even get a hold of like anyone who worked at the museum. I know.
Oh my gosh.
It was just so funny. They were so funny talking about it. And they were like, you could tell that they were in such good spirits. And the people that ran it were also like, everyone just thought it was like
good natured.
Pretty hilarious. Yeah. But everyone's like, how did they miss the signs that say we close promptly? And they're like, our advice, pay attention to when things close because they close.
They're like,
Oh
we're
my
not even
gosh.
going to think about a policy change of a sweep.
Security cameras, perhaps. Should we? I mean, just think how easy it would be to squat in a Scotland castle if they're not doing any kind of security. Did we just develop a new plan?
Are we going to live in the unbreachable castle?
I think we are.
Wait, did we just get
perfect.
a free Airbnb idea?
Yes.
we did.
Yes, we did.
Although I'm wondering why they slept in stalls. I might need to double check on that fact, but I'm pretty sure they slept in a horse stall. We better make sure that there's like some beds.
We're going to figure this out.
Listen, maybe we just pay for a hotel.
We're not gonna. Scotland, please let us in still.
Okay, so we did have sometimes we miss reviews from listeners when they're on sites that we don't check as much. But I did find somebody who commented on our Candy Cane Park episode on Podchaser. So I just wanted to share it really quick because I loved this. They said, I think the username was Hively Tea. So I don't know who this person is, but they listened to the Candy Cane Park episode. They said, wow, amazing job on the Candy Cane Park murder story. I was living in La Grande when it happened, just 2 blocks away at La Grande Plaza Apartments. I was 10, almost 11, and I remember walking to the park with my best friend that day and seeing the police tape. I've been obsessed with the case ever since. The new information you shared from the New York Times was shocking to hear, and honestly, it doesn't surprise me that the investigation was mishandled at the time. I really hope advances in technology can finally bring answers, not just for this case, but for the other cold cases in La Grande as well. So thank you, listener, for that review. We love to get those kinds of little anecdotes from our listeners.
Thank you.
And we are right there with you. I'm still like watching and hoping for updates on that case, and hope that our cold case unit here in La Grande is able to get the funding that they needed to get that DNA testing done, and that we can get answers.
It just feels like they were so close, and it makes me feel like I wish they could just tell us what they think it was so that we could be like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so interesting how there are so many cold cases in La Grande. And there's a TikTok I follow called Obscure History. And I think that maybe you guys follow it too. I know I've sent it to you before, but it's a guy that grew up in La Grande. I think he said he went to school in Cove, but lived in Island City. And he is a teacher somewhere, teaches history somewhere else, not in La Grande. But he did a little series where he talked about, like, he highlighted different cold cases just really briefly in La Grande. So if you want to hear kind of just the brief recap of all of those, you can go to Obscure History. And I believe he did those like in February. And also he just has great, interesting content.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have actually a news story that's paranormal-ish that we need to talk about. But did you guys hear about that woman in Oklahoma that was attacked by an animal so she said it was a dog-like animal. This is in the mainstream news.
What?
But she said it was not a dog, and she didn't think it was a wolf, but it was something like a dog. They have taken the DNA because she was bitten and scratched up, like she was in the hospital, like had 300 stitches or something.
Jeez.
In fact, I brought it up so I could actually give you the actual details. But the DNA that they took from the bite wounds do not match any known animal that they can find.
Wow.
And so people are saying that it sounds like it might be Dogman.
Dogman.
So they did DNA testing on her torn clothing to try to identify the animal, and they still have not been able to identify it. So who knows? Werewolf, Dogman. So this woman was Alicia Maxey. She's 38. She's a mother of 4. And she said that she went out to, she lives kind of like out in the country, I guess, and she walked out to her yard, and she said she heard a growl. And then she doesn't really remember anything else. I think that she saw the creature, but then she woke up later completely injured, and like a neighbor had somehow come upon her and taken her, like gotten the EMT services to take her into the hospital. And when they were asking her about it, she said she was in too much pain to say anything. Like she was very injured, very, very injured.
Jeez.
There's a GoFundMe page set up, and they're saying, like, the official story is that she was mauled by a dog, but due to, this is a quote from the article, due to the unusual severity of her injuries, Oklahoma Wildlife Services is assisting authorities in identifying the animal responsible. Torn clothing and other materials are being analyzed for DNA to determine whether the attacker was a dog, bear, mountain lion, or another creature. And then from what I saw, it wasn't any of those.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
But
that is crazy.
Wow.
That's really wild. Crazy. I did I have one other little update from a previous, I mean, it's not really even that much of an update, but somebody commented on our hybristophilia files case.
Oh.
We did it was the 3D episode with Haley talking about Richard Ramirez and his wife. It was the Women Who Love Men Who Kill. And then Nettie talked about Brian Koberger and his
Brittany
infatuated
high slope
person. And I talked about Vicky and Casey White. And this person commented, Vicky and Casey White were from my hometown. It was so crazy to see it go on international news, man.
Whoa.
I just love those little connections where somebody's
Me
like
too.
sees our stuff and is like, hey, I was there. I was connected to that. I love those little connections.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No, that's nuts. Totally
So
crazy.
if you have any connections for any of the cases that we share,
Tell
please
us
tell us.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also, this is just a tiny little follow-up, which is just a frustrating thing. I was trying so hard to find for our case that was released Tuesday about Mildred Cutter. I was trying so hard to find a picture of her. And
Yes,
I
me too,
really
me too.
struggled. And I think the only way we could actually find one is if we went to a library in that city and found like an obituary with her picture, like on microfiche or something. I think that would literally be the only way, because I searched so hard and I ended up like I was so
I
desperate.
did too. I spent hours. I probably spent 2 hours, 3
I
hours.
asked ChatGPT. I was like, why can't I find a picture of this person? And I laid out what we had found, where we had found it, what our sources were. And ChatGPT totally gaslit me. They were like, oh, she doesn't exist. The name was changed. There were certain details. I was like, stop. I literally was like, stop it. Stop. Why are you saying that? It's a real case. This is articles from the New York Times. This article, you know what I mean? I was like, why are you saying this? It was a very frustrating conversation and
But kind of illuminating.
just another
I bet.
reason to stop trusting ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm surprised that the article didn't have a photo of her.
What I could find, the little clips of articles that I could find were super hard to zoom in on anyway. But they didn't have pictures.
Her Find a Grave didn't have a picture. And it listed the name of her husband, but her husband didn't have a Find a Grave, because I was hoping maybe I'd find like a wedding photo.
Yeah.
But her husband, I actually ended up leaving a comment on her Find a Grave just because she had nothing, not a single comment, nothing, no memories, not a photo. It was just her name, her date of birth, her date of death,
Yeah.
and where she was buried. And anyway, so I left a little comment, which I had
Gosh.
to register.
Hey,
Well, first I wrote a really long comment, and then it made me register, and then it didn't save my comment. So I was like, this is so frustrating, and I couldn't remember everything I wrote, so I just wrote something small. But
Dang it.
I don't know. I think what made me so sad about that case in particular, and especially like when I re-listened to it, was just how lonely I felt on Mildred's behalf that she just had nobody.
Well, and she was going to be so kind and leave, like, obviously she had some money, and leave that to this woman who then couldn't just be a decent human being and continue doing her job and taking care of this person.
Yeah.
This from what sounds like a very lovely person, if you're leaving your
Right. I mean, and
home.
That's part of the thing, is that we actually don't know, because nobody knew her. Even her neighbors are like, we'd see her occasionally, but nobody talked to her. Nobody came out of the woodwork saying, yeah, we were friends with a couple when they were before the husband died.
But if you're a nasty person, like, you kind of make sure people know you. Like, you're gonna go and like,
yeah,
do
I don't even mean that
things,
that she would be a bad person, but we don't know anything. We don't know anything about like why she didn't have friends, why. Like, I genuinely, I wonder so much about her. Like, I wondered, was she just in a really controlling relationship? And I don't know anything about her husband. And was she isolated and then just didn't know how to come? Because, a lot of women are in marriages where they're very isolated. And then if their husband dies and she didn't have any family or anything, then she would maybe just continue in that isolation. Or maybe she just preferred being alone. Like, it's...
Possibly. Or maybe she knew people where they lived before and then transplanted to a new place and didn't, just didn't.
Yeah.
It's hard to start over at any stage
is.
of life.
I'm so glad I have you guys.
oh my gosh, yeah.
And our brothers. Like, we're really lucky. And our husbands
And families,
and children. Like, we're lucky to have people. But even on top of that, I'm like, I know each of us, we also have a network of friends, like outside of family.
Yeah.
And we also, it's like, I know that I have friends that would check in on me, and I know that I would check in on my friends. It's just nice to know that that's there. Just makes me sad. I got lonely on her behalf.
You did such a great job telling that story, and just, it was really an emotional story, Nettie. You did a great job with that.
Well, thank you. I'd just be so curious. I mean, someone knows her. Like someone knows something about her or knows someone who knew her. Do you know what I mean? Like someone somewhere might have an old wedding photo, or do you know what I mean? It's
where like she and her husband attended or something.
It's there, or they got married themselves. Like
Yes,
maybe there's a photo of them, like where somewhere in her apartment there was a wedding photo. I'm sure. I even tried to zoom in. It was a physical magazine, but I tried to look really closely to see if I could see a picture in the magazine, and I couldn't. Like in the crime scene photos of the ransacked apartment, but.
Yeah, I found it's some random photos showed up from old yearbooks and things like that when I image searched her name, and when I click on them and I couldn't find anything related or concrete, or I mean, it makes me think somehow something somewhere brought those images up. Maybe she went to that school where the picture of the ladies, you know what I mean? It's just, but it was hard, and it was really disappointing because I did want to have a picture of her to look at and to share.
Yeah. We might just have to use those sweet little baby angel painting photos.
Oh, yeah, I already have
place.
I have the socials set up, but I just was lamenting that we couldn't find one, and then frustrated that I got gaslit by ChatGPT where they were saying that she didn't exist and that wasn't her real name, and I was like, stop it. Why are you saying that? You're wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
In other news, I just got a text from my whole entire work chat that Bridget accidentally dropped her phone in the dumpster.
Oh, no, Bridget.
I'm just glad I'm not there, because I know somehow I would be the one that feels bad and volunteers to climb in there or something.
You would, of course. You'd be like, guys, I got it. I can shower.
Bridget, it's your phone. Go get it. We can edit that last comment of mine out.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. Well, I don't know if either of you want a Secret Lives of Mormon Wives
I always
update.
Want to talk about these ladies.
But in lieu of no arrests in the Epstein files, and I was researching it too much, I started getting nightmares. So I have switched topics drastically.
Yeah.
And have put my efforts towards Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Good choice.
So, okay. So a little recap. There was an event in February of this year between Taylor and Dakota, right?
Uh-huh.
And Dakota ended up filing charges against Taylor. But in the court hearings, we got to hear Taylor's side of things.
Right. Where
the lead up to the supposed assault on Dakota was that Dakota was badgering her to come to at midnight, in the middle of the night, by the way. And Taylor is at home with her kids, and Dakota knows this. Mm-hmm. So Taylor finally says, sure, I'll talk to you, but we have to talk outside. She did not want to talk inside near her children. Mm-hmm. Talk outside. We can talk in your car. She gives in. She says, sure, Dakota, we can talk. We have to go outside. We can talk in your truck. They get in his truck. He proceeds to drive away against Taylor's will. Yeah. And so now her little baby children.
Kidnapping.
It's called kidnapping. Now her little baby children are at home alone. And so Taylor kind of is freaking out. And from what Dakota said, threw a drink on him, blah, blah, blah. And then she choked him with his necklace. Well, Taylor's side is she is yelling at him to turn around, take her home. Her kids don't have an adult at home with them. He proceeds to take her by the back of her head, slams her head against the dashboard, and then punches her in the elbow and knee. And she takes photos of these bruises. Now, we have not seen these photos, but they have been presented in court, and they were admissible.
Mm-hmm. Probably because she didn't sell the photos to TMZ for, money, Dakota.
Yeah. Dakota. And so we have, and so then Dakota finally drops her off, takes her back home. And then Dakota doesn't leave as if he has just been attacked by this person, right? What he does is he proceeds to hang outside her door and then texts her, "Do you want to fuck?"
Yeah, that doesn't sound like someone who's just experienced a bunch of like physical abuse and is scared of. He's awful. He's
awful.
manipulative.
So Dakota Taylor does
Cannot
not
believe the people defending him.
me either.
Listen, I might even make some listeners mad, but I genuinely, when I read comments and people are like, "He's trying his best," I'm like, "He has been a creep from the get go."
I clocked it from the first episode that he was in.
Coercive control
Is insane.
And
Can we just agree that we call him Dakota?
Dakota.
Oh yes,
Dakota
we
instead of Dakota.
can.
Yes.
Emily.
So
Yes,
Dakota
brilliant.
then proceeds to report this to the police, but conveniently leaves out the part where he assaults Taylor.
What a turd.
This is the event in February that paused filming. So,
Wow.
paused filming of season 5. So then we have season 4 is released. And then also we are about to get Taylor's season of The Bachelorette. And conveniently, no. This is the timeline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so then conveniently, on their child's birthday, on Evertrue's birthday, Dakota releases that video from 2023. Okay. Taylor has already gone to court for this. She has already pled guilty for this. She has already gone on so many podcasts. She has been serving her time under parole for this very video that Dakota has been holding on to for 3 flippin' years.
Threatening to release it.
Part of his manipulation and control of her that he releases right before her big moment. And as Taylor's friend Macy from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives said, no matter what, Dakota always ruins everything for Taylor. Whatever event it is, Dakota is going to pick a fight with Taylor and like get her in that like fight or flight mode. And so, yes.
Sure.
So with all of this, they go to court and so Taylor's protective order is granted, Dakota's protective order is granted, which means Taylor's protective order, she had enough evidence for that to like be taken seriously. And so then they go to court for custody. And with the event in February that Dakota filed charges against Taylor for, Dakota filed charges against Taylor for, Taylor lost custody of Ever due to her prior charges, right? Mm-hmm. And so now with this new custody hearing, Taylor is getting 8 hours per week with Ever. And with all of this drama, Lisa Vanderpump from Vanderpump Villa announces she's cutting Dakota from filming.
I know, she's my hero. I actually have never watched Vanderpump, but I will watch it now, and I'm a Lisa fan.
Guess what she also just announced? She's cutting Dad Talk entirely.
Yay!
Rumor has it that she is cutting Dad Talk entirely allegedly because of Jordan's treatment of Jesse.
I am so proud of her.
Because Jordan sucks.
He does, and so does Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota and Jordan are in love with each other.
And Jordan.
Choden.
I can't think of one.
Great name for a bad guy. And so, but
Jordan.
Jordan is a great name because our brother-in-law's name is
Jordan.
We don't like this guy who happens to have the name Jordan.
Yeah, sometimes villains have hero names.
Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy podcast, who has like a YouTube kind of reality show, she cast Dakota in her Unwell Winter Games, and she is facing quite a bit of backlash for releasing this episode with Dakota in it.
Yeah, she shouldn't.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Also,
for entertainment purposes only, she should not.
Exactly. Also, with all of this, it has also come out that Dakota tried to get Taylor's season of The Bachelorette from even being filmed. He called ABC, quote unquote, warning them about Taylor and citing things that ABC was already very aware of. And then what does Dakota do? On the end of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, he asks Taylor to save him a Rose.
I've never been more disgusted than when they were interviewing him and like, what did you do last night? And he like was sticking his tongue out of his mouth. Literally
and, like,
was
rolls
sitting there.
his head back. It's so gross.
I was gagging. I was just like, oh, this guy, nothing about him. Who?
He's
These
disgusting.
idiot girls that are into him. I don't get it.
He is a predator who can like look at a woman, see her insecurities and be like, she will be a great victim. That is the problem. He is a predator, not that the...
Not only she'll be a great victim, but what can I get from this woman?
Yes.
How can I gain something from this person? Which is why he was like contacting Taylor Frankie Paul in the first place. He found out that a reality show was going to be filmed about her and slid into her DMs.
He has been called a clout chaser since day one.
Because he
from
is.
his exes. He wasn't able to get like his like fame or whatever from like one of his exes. And so then he like slid into Taylor's DMs, as you said. And he is a clout chaser. He keeps on going after these people who he thinks are going to give him a leg up, or who he thinks he's going to be able to tick Taylor off enough that she will engage with him and he will get more screen time.
You know what it reminds me of? Okay, so there was a case, like I think in 2023, where this guy, and I can't remember his name, Alexander or something, was convicted of killing his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend who he had children with. And he got his 14-year-old daughter a phone and basically coerced his daughter. And she testified against him in trial. She was like, I want you to film your mom. And she was like, well, what exactly do you want me to film? And he was like, anytime she's angry, anytime she's upset, that's when you need to film. And he had it set up. It was like a Motorola phone. So the photos automatically went to him. Photos and videos that she took automatically went to him. And when she testified against him, she referred to him as the defendant and his face. Every time she does it, he's like,
oh, like the Koenig trial,
yes,
too.
It reminded me of the Koenig trial. And I just was like, yeah, because she had an awakening and realized, and you can see him say to his attorney, what the F? She's been brainwashed. But she's just basically saying, they're like, who asked you to do this? And she's like,
no.
The defendant.
She's unbrainwashed.
Exactly.
Sir. Well,
and
that reminds me.
Oh, I was just going to say that when I heard about Dakota and just pulling out, making Taylor angry and pulling out and filming anytime she is just at her wit's end and she's in survival mode and she's not in her right mind, because her
as anyone can see from the footage and then from the body cam footage after the fact and the 911 call before, where that 911 call is saying, I am hearing a woman scream in her garage saying, get off me, and trying to leave the garage, but someone keeps closing the garage door.
Yes. I still cannot, like the audacity of those cops. I still am blown away. I hope that whoever those were, you're to Dakota, you're a victim of abuse. That might be hard to hear. And
those cops did the same thing with Gabby Petito.
I know, side by side. We talked about it on the last FUF.
Yes.
Because it literally is like, oh gosh, I could watched
talk about it for hours.
A clip of Gabby Petito today talking about coercive control. And they didn't talk about Taylor, but it was like the same things where she's like,
well, Gabby Petito's mom has made a statement.
I'm calm all the time. I'm calm all the time. He tells me I wasn't being calm. He locked me out of my car. And the person pointed out, like, they were in Moab. And they're like, do you know what it's like to be locked out of your air-conditioned car in Moab? Like, of course she was agitated. And then she was like, he's telling me I wasn't calm. We were fine. He just gets this way. And all the cops heard was his side of the story. She has OCD. She's the problem. Oh, I have a wife that's a problem too, dude. Ugh. Oh my gosh.
Frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Well, and Gabby Petito's mom has made a statement of, like she is like clarified, like she's like, I don't know the ins and outs, but I do know what coercive control looks like, and something like that. I can't remember her statement directly, but she just was, the gist of it kind of was like, this is very familiar.
It is. Because Dakota is
his
a
last
manipulative
name?
abuser.
Because
Dakota?
yeah,
Dakota Mortensen.
Because
yes,
he
I
reminds
don't think he's
me
related to Vigo.
of a cartoon character, and I can't figure out who it is, but I'm trying so hard to find it. Like,
is this going to be a deplorable doppelganger post?
Well, like
gosh.
the very bloodshot Patrick from SpongeBob kind of nearly hits, but that's not it. There's something that I'm thinking of, like some cartoon character
pupils
with
like saucers?
red gums and red rimmed bloodshot eyes, and I cannot for the life of me
Listeners,
out.
if you know who she means, please write in.
Let us know.
We're going to solve this and we're going to post it.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just so much more, and I could talk about it for 4 hours.
You were going to say it reminds me of, and then I said it reminds me of at the same time. And then we went on my tangent of it reminds me of. So what were you going to say it reminds me of? It reminds you of?
What had we just said?
We were talking about Dakota and Taylor. And I said, we both at the same time go, it reminds me of, and then I can't remember what exactly it was. But then you were like, you go.
Well, I don't know. But I mean, probably just like very the same vibe, same gist.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a terrible situation. And I'm not saying what Taylor did in that video is okay. I'm just saying there is more to the story, and Dakota's not innocent.
Yeah, and also I sometimes cannot believe the harshness with which people judge people on social media, like
especially at their lowest moment.
I just cannot believe.
I remember what I was going to say.
Okay, you go. Say it now before you forget.
I'm going to remember.
Okay, well, I was going to say, I mean, there's no excuse. Like, I get, like, checking the stools. That was absolutely, no excuse. But can you imagine having your lowest moments recorded, held over your head, and then without any other context released to the world for everyone to be like,
by your ex,
by the other parent, by someone you're co-parenting with and you're forced to have a relationship with for the rest of your life? Because I don't know.
Yeah. What I was going to say, because we were talking about how Dakota pulls out his phone and films when it's very convenient for him. Once he's gotten Taylor in a certain state of being that is very, very hard to get out of, especially if your partner is continuing to agitate you, is when Jessie was talking on Call Her Daddy, and she said that she had this moment with Jordan where, like, I think he had her phone or something, or was like, he was threatening her with the Marciano text. He's like, I'm going to post it. And Jessie was like, no, don't. And trying to get his phone so he wouldn't post it. And then he goes, I'm going to start filming you. Maybe I should call the cops. Like, are you going to be like Taylor?
Holy
like something
cow.
Like that. Where it was just like Jordan and Dakota are such besties that it's like, could you guys make out already? And,
sorry. My husband just drove away in the side-by-side, so I was just like going, wait, what is happening?
Bye, Brent.
But keep going.
But it just was kind of like, and somebody made this comment where they were like, abusers like to hang out with other abusers so that they can exchange information on how to be a better abuser. And by a better abuser, meaning how to abuse.
A more effective
and
abuser.
Get away with it.
Yeah. So they can gain more.
Yeah.
Because the whole purpose is I'm going to make you mad, then film it, and then go, look at you. You're freaking out. You're so mad. I mean, and it, yeah. To try to gain control over someone. Ugh.
It's my secret. It's my secret lives.
Fun. I mean, Secret Lives is fun. I was like my friend that I was trying to get to watch it, and she's like, I can't watch it. It makes me so angry. And I'm like, exactly. I get so angry that I text my sisters, and I'm like, can you believe this? But I'm not angry at anyone in my circle or like in my real life. It just feels like
drama that is safe for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel a little guilty sometimes, but no, I don't. Actually, I don't know why I said that. Cut that out.
They get paid a good amount of money to go on this show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
they do. But now apparently there's going to be an offshoot with Jen of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in California. Oh, I'll watch it.
So not down for that.
I'm gonna watch it.
I want
Whitney
to know and Connor to get their own offshoot.
Whitney and Connor are going to be off doing other things. We'll see plenty of Whitney and Connor.
I know. I just love them.
There's just not enough time to watch all this stuff. Like,
there
that's
is.
my problem.
You just have to cut out everything else.
You know what?
That's what I do.
You guys make your priorities. I finished GTF St. Louis, and it was a ride. And I think it was weird in just the best possible way.
Okay.
And the creator was the same guy that made The Patriot. Do you remember how weird that show was? It was like just so wacky and great. And like, I don't know. I guess it
Patriot.
gives you a
I've
glimpse
never
into my comedic values because I like the weird.
Now I want to watch both of them, but I always thought The Patriot was like a drama.
The Patriot?
I never watched it.
I thought you did.
The Patriot?
I haven't watched it either.
I watched like The Patriot with Mel Gibson, the movie.
Yeah.
No, The Patriot. The like. Okay, never mind.
I haven't watched the TV show The Patriot.
It's
if
like
there is
about
one.
like an ex-spy guy who kind of has like a mental break and like sings these kind of off-the-wall songs about
Yes.
his espionage.
And and his brother is an attaché.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I have watched that. I just didn't remember it was called The Patriot. That
I
was
don't even know what you guys
fantastic.
are talking about.
That it is good. His brother is like, I'm an attaché. They're like, what is it exactly?
What?
He's like, I don't know. I'm an attaché. And they're in Geneva.
Listen, let's not try to get bogged down in details we don't remember. It was just a great and funny show, and the creator also made DTF St. Louis, and I think that everybody should watch both.
I'm halfway through DTF St. Louis, and yes, it is weird and it is funny.
It's
Okay,
a murder
I'll watch
mystery.
it.
It's a penis mystery. It's all
Yep.
kinds of things.
Is this gay
What?
pornography? I don't know.
Holy, wow.
You'll
I'm
get
gonna
an
watch-
answer.
I'm gonna
You
watch
gotta
it with-
watch the show.
I'm going to watch it with mom and dad.
P.S. It was
Perfect.
not gay.
Have a watch party. Don't give me spoilers.
Well, your fault.
Why?
Because I said.
Well, maybe cut that out for our listeners.
Spoilers.
All right, are we wrapping up
Okay,
this
we'll
fuff?
cut that out.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up because we got to move on.
Hey, love you guys. Bye.
Wait, you got to close this out?
Oh, am I closing us out? I thought Emily was going to close us
Someone
out.
has to. Oh, I thought
I
you
can
were.
close us out. Thank you so much for listening. We are, again, the Spooky Darlings, and we appreciate you guys giving us your feedback. Please, if you have a moment, follow, subscribe, and give us a review if you haven't already. We appreciate them so much, and when we have time on our FUFs, we'll read some of those reviews. We appreciate it. My sisters are doing weird parade waves. I can't tell if it's a signal.
Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wrist.
Elbow, wrist, wrist, wrist. Okay, so, yeah, thank you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
5 stars.
Luxembourg. Before we disappear into the shadows, don't forget, we're still sending out vinyl stickers. Leave us a rating and review and email us proof to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, along with your mailing address, and we'll send you some spooky snail mail while supplies last. And if your heart is still mourning that tote bag, may we gently tempt your way toward our merch store at thespookydarlings.printful.me. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening, and as always, stay spooky.